Welcome back, gang. It's not a secret that everything's kind of boring right now in the Pokemon world, the Pokemon community. Sometimes boring can be a good thing. Maybe not so much for content creation. Honestly, it's pretty boring and it's pretty hard for me to make content consistently. Just there's not anything going on. It just seems like there's not a whole lot to talk about. However, with the 30th anniversary, we've gotten some more leaks with the Meowth, the Pikachus, the Mews that are supposedly really hard to hit. We've gotten supposed hit rates leaked as well. Newsflash, very easy hit rates, easier than 151. So I'd expect a lot of packs of this to get ripped. A lot of people chasing those SIRs, those IRs, etc. So that's great to see. Hopefully that keeps singles prices down quite a bit because there's going to be a lot of supply out there. However, that's not what this video is really about. I've been pricing a lot of my singles out for the card show I have coming up this weekend, and I've noticed a nice trend in my singles. What am I noticing, you may ask? Well, it seems that every single one of my singles have gone up. Now, not every single one. There are a small few that pretty much are stagnant, none that are really cheaper. Maybe one, it was a black and white Zekrom, but outside of that, everything's pretty much up from the last time I've ended. I'm talking XY is up huge, Sun and Moon is up huge. The tag teams, especially the tag teams, they are up massive. Same thing with the XY cards, they're up pretty big. A lot of my Scarlet and Violet IRs and SIRs, they're up pretty decently as well. Now, not the back half, that's the front half. So is this market really in a summer slowdown, like, I've been saying, like all the other PokeTubers have been saying, and now some people are coming out and they're like, whoa, this really isn't a summer slowdown. I'm not experiencing this. Well, I did experience a slowdown. It seems we picked up with the sealed at least, but in regards to everything else, I'm having a tough time. Are we in a summer slowdown or are we still just in a boom? And I'm starting to lean towards we're in a boom. There's just a small select cards and sets, generations, if you may, that are trending downwards while everything else is still going upwards. It's like a market rotation. People are like, well, I'm tired of that. Let's move into this. Or I've already collected what I want here. Let's move into here. Something like that. Some things that are flat right now, in my opinion, things that are starting to get reprinted, except for Black Bolt and White Flare, those illustration rares are through the roof. I remember I think Scraggy was like an $8 card, and now it's like a $30 card or 25. I opened a couple packs and I pulled the Dino, I think it is. I pulled that card and I think it was like $7 or $9 as well. And now that's like a $25 to $30 card as well. So yeah, Black Bolt, White Flare, booming through the roof. But things that are starting to slow down or have pretty much been stagnant, Twilight Masquerade, Surging Sparks, surprises the heck out of me because they're all getting ready to rotate out. So those to me seem like obvious buys, like we should start trending upward. But the Booty Pikachu is a little bit cheaper than I had priced out last time, and the Surging Sparks Greninja is pretty much flat. Might be up like $10, but basically flat in my eyes. And I was surprised to see both of that, especially with the new Greninja set that just released. I would have expected the Twilight Greninja to have, trended up quite a bit, get a little bit of a boom, a little bit of FOMO into that and start moving, but it really hasn't. And I have been very vocal that I think the Chaos Rising Greninja is better than this one, but apparently everybody else says otherwise. I guess I'm the minority. I still think everybody else is wrong. I still think Chaos Rising Greninja is way better. So continue with that block that's moving out. You know what has moved quite a bit? Those evolutions from Prismatic. They are way, way up right now. And I may look to sell some of those. They're probably going to be pretty hard to move. I need some capital. What are they? I don't think they're gonna PSA 10. They have some like chipping in the rainbow, but they're still very nice cards. They're still near mint, no real big issues outside that little bit of chipping, and you can't even tell that it's there. And I was honestly going to send these off to grade. However, I looked at the PSA 10 Umbreon I have and it doesn't have that chipping, so I figured that's probably why these cards are so hard to grade. That's why the PSA 10 has such a premium on it, such a multiplier on it, because they're just hard to grade. They're hard to hit and they're hard to grade. Okay, so back to the important stuff. That is sealed product. That's what basically my entire channel rotates around. That's what my business rotates around, not singles, sealed product. There's the obvious stuff that I'm not really interested in selling. Again, that's the stuff that's rotating out in April. We have April's the 4th month, so we got 8 months left, a little less than 8 months left. And after April comes, we're not going to see any more stock of this outside of a couple leftovers here and there. Pokemon Center did just do a drop with some leftovers. They did bundles with PC TVs. I think it was Brilliant Stars, Destined Rivals, like Journey Together booster boxes, and something else, and it all went fast. So yeah, we may see some of this stuff as a leftover in later drops, but for the most part, we're not going to see any reprints. We're not going to see any major restocks at Walmart, Target, etc. come April. And those are the things I'm not wanting to sell. Sure, I sold a little bit of Prismatic just because it's restocking so much. I want to churn some of that, but other than that, I don't really want to sell any of this stuff because I know it's going to get a nice big bump come rotation. What else am I not trying to sell? Destined Rivals. If you have Destined Rivals ETBs for $100, hit me up. I will buy them. I'm looking to get another 20, and if it drops more, I'll probably grab another 20. If it kind of settles out here, I'll probably grab another 20 at the same price point, just so I can dollar cost average my way back down and get a lot of supply come rotation. I think that's a really, really good move. Destined Rivals is arguably the very best set of Scarlet and Violet booster box set. Throw that disqualifier out there because it doesn't compete with Prismatic or 151, but booster box set definitely top tier. And I think it's going to do extremely well come 2028, come rotation, when other stuff gets reprinted and nobody cares about the new stuff that's getting reprinted. I think Destined Rivals is going to get, its time in the sunshine and slowly start trickling back up. Do I think it's going to be dead money for the next year? It's tough to say. Twilight and Surging Sparks were dead money for a while, up until, I don't know, a couple months ago when they started booming. Is Destined Rivals going to do the same thing? I really can't see it. I don't see Destined Rivals going to MSRP. I don't see it getting that cheap where people are like, nah, screw that. I'm not going to pick that up off the Walmart shelf. I can't imagine people do that with Destined Rivals. But I have been wrong before. I have no information saying otherwise. That's just my thoughts. I'm just a random guy on YouTube trying to run a Pokemon card business, share his thoughts and opinions on investing and Pokemon business. But I do think Destined Rivals is definitely a great buy. Even if you have to pay $120 a box for those ETBs, it's still a great buy. I just try to average down, get a little bit cheaper, so more bang for my buck. And I'm a business, so usually I buy at 80%, sometimes lower, just kind of depends. So as we start to wrap up this video, help me figure this out, guys. Are we booming or are we in a slowdown? Personally, I'm gonna say it's just pockets of Pokemon that's slowing down, very ultra modern stuff that's getting reprinted. Basically your back half of Scarlet and Violet, your Mega Block, and the back couple sets of Sword and Shield has really gone down quite a bit. I'm surprised by that one. Obviously, we're not getting reprints of any of that stuff. That stuff's long gone. It's got age to it. And maybe it was just starting to get expensive. I think it's also potential that people were just taking profits on that. So that way, for the 30th in Delta Rain, they got lots of money. They're ready to rock and ready to go. But, with people taking the profits there, it's not crashed the market, but it's definitely brought that market down quite a bit. It's a pretty decent buying opportunity if you got the money, if you missed out, if you need more Lost Origins or Silver Tempest or Astral Radiance, Brilliant Stars. I think or Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike's definitely down a bit. I definitely think those are good sets to pick up right now. If you missed out, if you need to add more. If you already got it, you already got it. Just hold on to it. That's what I'm doing. I truthfully think that every one of those sets are going to be 1,000 plus. Plus, I think Fusion Strike's probably going to be like 2,000 since now it's determined it's the second best set of Sword and Shield. But as far as newer stuff, it's just really back half of Scarlet and Violet that's getting reprinted, starting to cool down. And obviously there's more stock coming. People are afraid. People are going to panic sell. And everybody's going to buy in at a cheaper price, essentially. Mega Base, I think it's not Mega Base. The Mega Generation, the Mega Block is obviously slowing down because Pokemon's caught up. We saw that with Pitch Black when Wave 2 came out almost immediately after Wave 1, which the other sets we've seen, Wave 2 usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks to come out. Didn't have that with Pitch Black, so they're caught up. Now they're starting to hit stuff with reprints, and they're going in order. Journey Together has been confirmed, Destined Rivals confirmed, Black Bolt White Flare is confirmed. What comes after that? Mega Base, Phantasmal, Ascended Heroes, and we just start going down the line with the Mega Block. And, if some of the back half of Scarlet and Violet needs to be touched again, they'll hit those again. I see that in the future. I definitely see that happening. I think that's why all the stuff's slowing down. People are like, hey, they caught up. They're going to start hitting this stuff with reprints. It's time. And so people are panic selling those. It's slowing down. But you go back, XY, Sun and Moon, absolutely on fire, booming. The singles are through the roof. And everything's good. Everything's good. You wouldn't even notice a slowdown. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Are people just taking profits and they're scared of the reprints? Or is there something bigger going on? Like I said earlier, as this stuff cools down, I think it's a great buying opportunity, especially Destined Rivals right now. If we see anything more meaningful for Black Bolt, White Flare, that'll be a good buy. And if they move on to Phantasmal Flames, Mega Base, those eventually will be a good buy as long as they're getting hit with reprints. Then I personally think Ascended Heroes, at least once Prismatic is done and rotated out, I think Ascended Heroes is going to get the Prismatic treatment the whole year, where it's every month. They're just going to be Ascended Heroes, just whether it's ETBs, bundles, those EX boxes, the Focus Fighters, whatever it may be. I think we're just going to keep getting hit with Ascended Heroes just month after month after month after month, because it can handle it. It is that popular of a set. It is that deep of a set, and it's got depth. It's got a lot of depth to handle stuff like that. So I think there's definitely going to be very good buying opportunities going forward for Ascended Heroes and potentially some of these other stuff. Hopefully Black Bolt, White Flare. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you shop the website, link in the description of the video. This is Max Pax, signing out.